Third phase.
The information's coming in real fast. We received a word this morning that there's some evidence out there that we need to share right away, and that's what we're going to do. What was captured on a USB stick found with apparently 1800s planetary imagery and video, and we're going to be going over multiple videos and photographs in regards to this evidence. Apparently, strange occurrence. Apparently, u/Cole_Quizto posted on Reddit, named Strange Occurrence. He says this: "Hello, Reddit community. I made this account just to share this event and decided to share this on the mystery thread as I don't know where else to post." He says his name is Quizto and he lives in a small village near Berlin. To make a long story short, he says he found a USB stick in a parking lot near the so-called Stentor a few hours ago, and he didn't think much of it and put it in his pocket. He says there's nothing else in the parking lot, just this silver Toshiba USB disc. He says it had a strange symbol carved onto it. Later that day, he put it into his laptop. But he says the interesting part is when he came up among the unnamed files, and there were quite many images and videos of what seems to be like planets, space-related stuff, and they seem old from the 1900s. The videos kind of shock me, he says, as somehow they show to them of what seems to be alien UFOs, and he's watched a lot of sci-fi movies to know what they look like, he says. He says he doesn't know the story behind this USB stick and what it possesses, but he decided to share it with us. Some images seem to show close-ups of planets, and some seem to be edited, blacked out. They're videos that are too freaky to describe, he says. And he says a friend said that the stick contains old Voyager satellite recordings and files that are not supposed to be public, as he has never seen something like this. He says a friend of his is a space dude and he should know what he's looking at. I'll look more into the files, he says, and keep us updated once he figures out how to upload the more images he has on this USB drive, and we're going to be sharing it with you. Apparently there's over 8,000 images and video in this USB stick, so I could imagine it's going to take a while to get this all uploaded, but right now we're going to be sharing with you on Third Phase of Moon some of the images that have come in. So let's get started with this video called Close Up Jupiter. Alright, the first video that we're looking at apparently is Jupiter in the background, and to me, I think this is the moon known as Europa hovering over the planet Jupiter. Brett, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. If these were Voyager shots, that would be interesting when Voyager did fly by Jupiter at that moment. Could this be what we're looking at? It's hard telling. This could be all done in CGI and Photoshop, but we have a great list of videos and photos coming up. What is that at the bottom part of the moon?
Yeah, look at that, Brent. You see that? There's like a streak of trail behind the moon Europa. What is that? It's very strange. We're getting a closer look. The detail in these videos is what kind of gets me thinking if these possibly could be legitimate videos, because the evidence, apparently 8,000 plus images and videos combined in this USB drive, that would take tens of maybe thousands of hours to maybe create this massive hoax, if that's what it is. But right now we're just going to go over the images. Let's roll the second clip. This one's called Earth. You know, I've seen worse images coming in from NASA themselves.
Absolutely.
They're shooting on potatoes, and you're looking at this, and definitely it compares to some of the NASA imagery from the 1980s. It's interesting that you see this ship kind of in orbit over Earth.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of satellite, but they wouldn't have had this capability when Voyager was flying. That thing seems massive, whatever's, orbiting the Earth there.
Okay, let's get to this next video. Moon rescue pods. Roll it. Okay, that looks a little suspicious. Almost looks like there's some CGI added into the image here, but I could be wrong. Let's look at it again. Rescue pods. So, what we're looking at here, apparently there's not any information behind it except that name of the video itself, and I'm not sure if the person that uploaded it named it, or is this the information on the USB title itself.
Yeah, it's an interesting clip. I do like that the flares coming off of whatever this is seems to have more of a reflection than your normal res flare that you would put on through a CGI effect.
Yeah, it doesn't come up with the simple lens flare attachment. It is an original looking flare, and then again, that would be even more complicated in order to pull this off as a hoax. But again, it could be legitimate. Let's roll with this next one. It's called Close Up Jupiter. Right, so again, that's I think the moon Europa and Jupiter behind it, but we're getting a little bit of color in this film or video or whatever it is, and there's some kind of obtrusion to the lower left hand of the moon.
Yeah, look at that, the bottom left. Whatever it is, if that's in proximation next to this moon, that thing would be massive.
Right. I quickly went through these videos, and some of them caught my eye quickly. And this one's called Attack on I.O. Let's watch. Very peculiar video here. What are we looking at? Is this some kind of a extraterrestrial attack on a ship or the moon of Europa? Is that the moon or is that a ship, Brent? What's your thoughts?
I see those top positions of left and right. They're massive ships, I think, accordance to the moon right there. And it looks like there's almost a space war going on above Jupiter. It's pretty compelling footage. The detail from Jupiter and the moon and zooming in through the cockpit of whatever spaceship they're in. It's pretty cool. It's very well done if it is a hoax.
Yeah, and the detail is very impressive. You see the streaks of particles, maybe ice particles streaking across the camera, as you'd see ice particles detach from rockets as they enter space. The detail behind this, there's so many elements that are involved here. If this were a hoax, it is incredible in how they pulled it off, because the information, there's so much of it. Let's get to this next clip, and it's called Distant Lights. And again, we're getting these refractions, flares that are very original, in my opinion, and you could see the smudges from within the ship itself as the camera is shooting out through a glass. And again, that's interesting detail there.
I just imagine if this was leaked footage from Voyager on its travels, it would be very compelling, and you would almost imagine this if we were living in the world that we like to believe, that there is some sort of alien presence in our solar system. Why wouldn't we be seeing glimpses of extraterrestrial craft around our large planets?
Okay, let's get to this. Saturn anomalies. The next video, here it is. Okay, you see the rings of Saturn and flashes of light. The title, again, was Saturn anomalies, and you could see all kinds of things going on in here. It's hard to point to one individual event going on in this. There's anomalies all over it.
Notice the top half of Saturn here. There seems to be something illuminating that's massive, some sort of, what would you dare call a mothership?
Again, we're not claiming that these are authentic. We're just putting out the evidence that's come out within the past 24 hours. Here's another one, a moon battle. This one caught my eye as well. It almost looks like a movie straight out of Star Wars. The Star Destroyer is down below, taking incoming fire from another possible rebel ship. Brent, what's your thoughts? Is this legit or what?
Yeah, it's almost looking more like something that was done at Lucasfilms back in the early 70s, and trying to create maybe a style of film and look. Almost has a Flash Gordon look too from the 1930s and 40s. It's very curious the look that they're trying to replicate here, but it does have a sense of realism. That's what I find pretty fascinating about these clips that we're looking at right now.
Okay, let's get to this one. It's called Attack IO. It's a closer look. Here it is. So we have another angle of the apparent attack on the ship. and there are multiple ships in orbit above Jupiter, and definitely it looks like some kind of confrontation, a star battle.
I wonder why these clips are so short. Was it a problem for the artist? I'm going to say is for a rendering problem. They wanted to create these little shorts.
Yeah, really, the videos don't last much longer than maybe 6 to 10 seconds max, and that does make one wonder why they're just these short clips versus let's just see a full-length clip that lasts for a couple minutes of this battle. Or maybe it's easier, if it were a hoax, for the renderer to concentrate on a 6-second video versus a 6-minute video.
Absolutely.
Let's get to this next one. It's called The Real Jupiter. You know, there's, again, a lot of elements going on in this video. I would say what we're looking at possibly could be real. Like I said, I've seen worse footage from NASA. There's been a lot of evidence coming in, and we're showing it to you right now in Third Phase of Moon, so much that we're not going to be able to share it with you all in this one episode.